We're now going to hear from Travis Carter, who has many good qualities, most of them female. I'm referring to his daughters and his wife. Big round of applause for Travis Carter.
First of all, I just want to say massive thank you to every single one of you people out here. We can't do this without you. I've said this before in past speeches, but we're happy to stand up here. We're happy to take the slings and arrows of all the abuse that the mainstream media will throw at us. But without you guys supporting us and attending these events, we can't do this on our own. And for you guys that have taken time off this absolutely stunning Saturday, thank you very much for coming down. And hopefully we can all come together and just give the, like I said, the politicians, the ruling elite, a real good punch in the nose and tell them, like, we're not going to stand down and take this anymore. We've got to stand up for our rights, and they're trying to steal it off us. So today with my speech, I thought, you know what, the father side of things, I am an alienated dad, but that's not the biggest issue here today at the moment. It is a very, very large issue, but there's other things, and that's our freedoms and how the ruling elites are using the COVID-19 emergency shutdown to steal our rights off us, because that's what they're doing. So I just want to have a talk about a few things coming up. Let's talk about Victoria. Now, I just want to hear from the crowd here. Do you think Victoria is the worst state in Australia at the moment for what they're doing to them? It's diabolical what they're doing. And I hate to say this, I actually disagree with you guys. I think WA is, and I'll get to that in a moment. So what they're doing in Victoria, the emergency powers that they use is actually under the State Emergency Act, Section 200. That allows them to do whatever they want to you, and there's nothing you can do to them back. And this is why I think Victoria is in a better state than WA is, because once this state emergency ends, if we can put enough pressure onto Dan Andrews and the rulers of Victoria and the dictators over there, all their powers are gone. And that's why they want to keep pushing out further and further and further, because they know once this is over and once it's declared no longer a state emergency, they've got no powers. So we really need to get out there. We need to support all the people in Victoria, especially during the protests. And because they can't get out there and protest on their own now, we need to do it online for them. Just because we don't live in Victoria, it doesn't mean we can't support them. So I've come across a really, really awesome Facebook group about a week ago, actually. It's called Give Them the Boot. So what I'd love to see is just everyone get out there. Every time you see a post from any politician, just post images of your ugliest boots on their Facebook pages, put the ugly images on there, and just take away their ability to spread their bullshit on the Facebook, social media, Twitter. Let's take their controls away from them, because it needs to stop. We need to start countering their bullshit with our own. Let's get as annoying as possible and really give them the shits and give them the boot. All right. I wrote myself a note here and I don't understand it. All right, moving on. Now, the reason why I think WA's got it really bad, Mark McGowan, or as I like to call him, Mal Gowan, is actually changing laws outside of the State Emergency Act. So once the State Emergency stops... Hello, gorgeous. You want to talk to? Hang on, after the speech, honey. Sorry, this one always photobombs my Facebook videos and everything like that. It's hard to say no when she's that cute. So what Mark McGowan has done, he's gone around and changed laws outside of the State Emergency Act. So once the State Emergency finishes, those laws are still in place. He's still denied our freedoms. So I want to raise one point. Whether you love him, you hate him, or you think he needs a bullet, Clive Palmer is the person I'm talking about here. What they've done, they've changed the 2002 Mineralogy Iron Ore Processing Act. So see this tree right here? Clive Palmer has less rights than that tree. What they've done, they've denied him the right to, A, use the land that he legally purchased. They won't adhere to the agreement that they made, and that's what the act is. And he's also got no rights to seek any fair and legal justice, and he has no rights to take this to any court, any arbitration, or do anything else. And what really, really irks me the most, and I can't stand the guy personally, they've backdated it to 2002, meaning all the arbitration, all the court hearings, and everything that's led up to this point, not a single one of them is valid anymore. They have waived all the results from every single one, and they have turned him effectively into a tree. You cut this tree down, you'll get arrested. You do that to Clive Palmer, nothing's going to happen. He's got no recourse. He can't do anything legally, and that is absolutely disgusting, and is forming a precedent for every single West Australian here today that the government can do the same thing to you, and it needs to be stopped now. And this is why I feel WA is in a lot worse state than Victoria. Now, there is hope for Victoria. And this is one of the things I found in WA Legislative Council. That's one of the things I found in every single state that I've spoken to. We have absolute muppets in Parliament. They don't read their own laws.
They don't know the law.
Spot on. Thank you very much, young sir. And I just dropped my paper. So the one I was talking about, I realised what it was. The government have been cherry-picking laws on this State Emergency Act. There's a little one under Section 98 of the Victorian State of Emergency. Part 7, a declaration under this section may be extended by another declaration. So they just pile them on top of each other. That's how they've kept people locked down. For a further period not exceeding 4 weeks. But the total period of the declaration continues in force cannot exceed 6 months. Now, I want to know, who here knows when Victoria went into a lockdown?
6 months ago, I reckon.
In 4 days. In 4 days, it will be 6 months. So I want to see if Victoria will rise up in an open rebellion, because by their own laws, they cannot extend it past 6 months. I want to see what happens. And I think every single Australian should be supporting them in their actions as well. Now, what really is going to piss them off. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the thing that's really going to piss them off, pull up the acts yourself and go look up compensation. Search all these state emergency acts, the health acts, every single one, and have a look what it's listed under compensation. Anyone who suffers loss or damages under the State Emergency Act is entitled to fair and reasonable compensation. That is for every single Australian, across Australia, in every single state. I've actually done quick sums calculated in WA. It works out about $34 billion, and that's WA alone. And the government's shitting themselves over Clive Palmer's $30 billion. Oh, wait till they see every single state do this. This is going to be awesome.
Last section.
Oh, you want to say something? Say hello.
Hello.
Oh, she's just so cute. She's so cute. Oh, here comes that one. All right, you two, say hello.
Hooray.
All right, so getting back to the serious point. So I have actually contacted the WA Health Minister and State Emergency Minister, and I've put a claim in on your behalf, and their response was, I didn't suffer a loss, they're not paying. And they have not told any of you guys out here, or you ladies, or your kids, or your grandparents, that they can actually seek compensation for these losses. So jump onto my Facebook if you're looking. All the details are on there. Send in the messages. I want to absolutely swamp their offices with emails requesting for compensation, because these guys have been taking us for a fool for too long, and it's about time we take them for a fool back and we get back what is ours. We have to put the pressure on them. We have to take back our freedoms. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hand you back over to the wonderful Michael Darby. I'll put it on mute.